In life, we face a lot of situations which are out of our control. But such incidents leave some marks on our life, and due to which we tend to develop a feeling of revenge. And because of that feeling, we fail to differentiate between good and bad. And then we choose the way of disaster. Today I am going to tell you all about such an incident to which whenever I remember, I get goosebumps. This is last year's incident. It was a few months when I joined college. Like others, I used to attend my lectures, be with my friends, and used to enjoy life like others. But I had no idea about the time I am going to see the near future. One day it was raining heavily, and in order to reach home fast, I was running. But suddenly a guy came in my way. His age was almost about 25 years, and he was very handsome as well. And the way I collided with him, my phone and purse fell on the floor, and when I checked it, I found that it was broken, due to which I got angry at him. And I said to that guy in anger, "Are you blind? See, because of you my phone is broken."
Oh ma'am, I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Saying sorry won't help me. Do you have any idea that my father is going to scold me a lot when he gets to know that I have broken the phone that he has gifted to me a few days ago? That guy gave me some money and told me that there is a mobile repair shop nearby from where my phone will get repaired in some time. But before I could say anything to him, he left from there in a hurry. Due to the rain, I was already so worried. Anyway, I went to that mobile repairing shop, the one that guy told me about. The shop was very dark. I called shopkeeper so many times, but no one came. Due to all this, I got so angry. Then after some time, the lights of the shop turned on, and I saw a man whose age was almost 40 years old. He came out from the room in the shop and said while laughing,
Ma'am, do you want anything?
"Are you mad? I don't have time to unnecessarily talk to you. My phone is damaged. Just repair it ASAP." The shopkeeper took the phone in his hand and said that it will take at least 2 days to repair your phone. I cannot wait for such a long time. That is why I asked him to take some extra money and repair the phone as soon as possible. He agreed on this. He took the phone to another room and repaired it in 5 minutes only. I thought, what if he is fooling me? That is why I checked my phone. The phone was absolutely fine, and no one could say that phone was ever damaged. I got so shocked seeing this, but I was even happy with this because I knew that now Dad will not scold me. I gave money to the shopkeeper and left from there.
I am done for today. Now let's start the process.
I was still thinking that meeting that guy and the shopkeeper was just a coincidence. Is that really all true? No. It was all connected to each other in such a way that it was impossible for me to ascertain the truth. I was watching TV while sitting in my room. Just then, someone called me in my phone. The number was unknown. I thought about who is calling me at this time. I thought that it must be emergency. That's why I immediately received the call. There was the same shopkeeper on the other side. "You have called me to ask this at this time? Are you mad? Look, my phone is working absolutely fine. Now there is no need to call me again." I immediately disconnected the call. I started hating that shopkeeper, but he didn't stop troubling me. After some time, I saw the same man on TV who was talking me while smiling.
Ma'am, is your phone working properly?
Seeing this, I got so scared and I immediately took off the wires of the TV, due to which the TV got switched off. I was so thirsty, and as soon as I started drinking water from the glass kept on the table, I again heard that voice from behind me.
Ma'am, is your phone working properly?
The glass slipped on my hands and fell on the floor, and it turned into pieces. I looked behind in fear and saw that the same voice was coming from the radio as well.
Ma'am,
I went to the radio
your
and threw it
phone
on the wall.
working properly?
That radio was broken, and my room was again in silence. But I thought, enough is enough. Now I should tell my dad all about this. I immediately went towards my dad's room, and his door was locked from inside. I tried to call my dad so many times and knocked the door as well, but I didn't get any answer. After a long time, a voice came from inside the room.
Ma'am, is your phone working properly?
Who the hell are you? Please, please don't do anything to my father. I will do whatever you want. The door automatically opened, and I got stunned after seeing inside the room. I saw that my father was laying on the bed while closing his eyes as if he was unconscious, and at the same time, I also saw the shopkeeper standing beside him, who was smiling while looking at me. Just then, the lights started flickering in the room, and in no time, he turned into a huge monster. I had never seen such a creature in my life.
I am taking your dad with me. Say goodbye and see him going through while standing right there.
He pointed his hand towards me and grabbed me in such a magical way. I was trapped in that cage like an animal. I requested him to leave my father, but he didn't listen to me. I saw that four men wearing a black dress suddenly appeared around every corner of his bed, and while chanting some mantras, they started revolving around the bed. After some time, a bright light came out of my father's body, and I fainted while seeing. When I opened my eyes, I found myself in the hospital. I was told that my neighbor found me inside the room in an unconscious state, and they took me to the hospital. But with it, I got very bad news that my father is no more. I was shocked when I heard this. I tried to tell everyone about the things that took place with that night, but an idea came to my mind and I went into the library. Then I read about it in some articles and newspapers. I skipped my heart bearing after knowing about the whole matter. A few years ago, there was a meat shop there. One day when the shopkeeper of the shop was about to close his shop, a drunk person visited his shop and demanded for meat from him.
Sir, we are about to close the shop. You please come tomorrow.
Hey, you! Stop talking nonsense!
I want to eat the meat right now. Now go and get some meat for me.
The shopkeeper requested a lot from that man to go from there. But that man becomes so angry and pushed the shopkeeper into the shop. The shopkeeper told him that there is no meat left in the shop. But that man didn't believe him and tied the shopkeeper upside down.
Sir, what are you doing? Please forgive me. There is really no meat in the shop.
There is no meat? Wait, let me check.
The shopkeeper killed that man. In order to take his revenge, he attracts people by changing his shop again and again. Then he kills that person or the family member of the person. I got numbed after knowing this. How can a person be blind in order to take revenge? I have no idea who his next target is.
A new prey for the new day.
Sir, do you need anything?
Stop talking nonsense. Just bring a cup of tea for me.
Sure, sir.
Please, just leave me.
On Rakhi, every brother promises to take care of his sister. I also made such a promise to my sister, which I failed to fulfill. Things might be different if I had kept my promise in time.
No, brother. Today money will not work. This time you have to give me a special gift.
Neha, tell me, what do you want? I can do anything in order to keep my sister happy. This is last Rakhi's incident. I thought she must be needing a new dress, cosmetics, or any such thing. But she asked something else from me. She said that she used to love a guy named Ravi, and she wants to marry him. I had already named everything to Neha, so that is why I had nothing to offer her. I said that first I will meet with Ravi's family because I wanted a best guy for my sister, who could make her happy for a lifetime. After some time, I went to Ravi's house and had a word with his parents. That time I didn't feel anything wrong after meeting his parents. Ravi's parents also liked Neha, and after some days, Neha got married to Ravi. While saying goodbye to Neha after getting married, I was feeling a little nervous. But I thought that she was separating from me. That is why I was getting a little worried. But this fear was a signal of a big problem in the future, to which I failed to recognize. Everything was going well in Neha's married life. But after some time, suddenly Neha stopped calling me. Now she didn't come to meet me as well. And whenever I used to call Ravi and ask about it, then he used to tell me that she is busy with some work. And sometime he said that Neha went outside to shop. I was very happy to see Neha taking all the responsibilities. But it was nothing like that. Tomorrow was Rakhi, and I decided that this time I will complain to her for not talking to me. The night when I was thinking about all this, the same time I heard a voice from outside.
Help! Please help me!
I thought, who is asking for help at this time? I immediately opened the door of my house and went outside and looked here and there, but no one was present there. But how can this happen? I was thinking about all this and was about to return towards my home. Just then, I found something lying on the floor. It looked like a non-bracelet to me. I was shocked to see it because it was Neha's bracelet that she used to wear for a long time. I thought that it must be someone else's bracelet. As soon as I touched that bracelet, it started rotating automatically and a voice came from it.
Help! Please help me!
Seeing all this, I got so scared and ran towards my room. That voice was resembling with Neha's voice, and I thought that I had lost my mind while missing Neha. I somehow relaxed myself and drank some water. Just then, the lights of my house started flickering, and due to fear, the glass slipped out of my hand and fell on the ground. In some time, the lights went off. I somehow searched for the torch in darkness and went towards the electricity box. While walking, I felt as if someone was following me. Who is that? I saw a shadow of a girl behind me. I started walking slowly behind her, and I was continuously asking who she was. But I didn't get any answers. The shadow was floating in the air. While I was following her, I saw that it disappeared at the entrance of a room. That was Neha's room, which was closed for a long time. I didn't understand the meaning of all this. I don't know why I felt that I should enter the room. I went inside Neha's room, and after entering there, I was stunned to see her room. I saw blood marks of her hands and feet and all over the room, and I also saw a line written on the wall. Brother, please help me. I was not able to understand what was happening with me, but I was pretty sure that something is wrong here. Or maybe something bad is about to happen. In no time, everything kept in the room started shaking. Whether it is bed, almirah, or something else. The windows automatically opened and wind started blowing from it. I started seeing a blurred shadow of Neha, which in no time turned into a witch. I got so scared seeing all this that I lost my balance and fell down on the floor. She came closer to me and she said while crying,
Please help me, brother. Please save me from him.
While saying this, she disappeared from there, and I saw the same bracelet that I saw outside the house. I understood that there is definitely something wrong with my sister. I decided that in the morning I will go to Neha's house and will find out what happened to her. The next day, when everybody was in a festive mood, I went straight to Neha's house. I knocked on the door very hard, but I didn't get any answers. Finally, Ravi opened the door and he was shocked to see me. And he said to me,
What are you doing here so early in the morning?
You just tell me that where Neha is. I pushed him away and got into his house and started searching for Neha everywhere. But I didn't find her. Ravi started making so many excuses, but I didn't listen to him and continued searching for her in every corner of the house. While searching for her, I went to Ravi's room, but I didn't find her there as well. But just then, I noticed something which stunned me. I didn't find anything in the room which was related to Neha. I felt like Neha doesn't live here. I asked Ravi about this, but he was standing quietly there. My anger was about to reach its peak. I got so furious that I held him and I was about to hit him. But just then, the wind started blowing through the window, same as it was blowing in Neha's room last night. And in no time, the same witch appeared in front of us, which I saw the last night. She pointed her hand towards an almirah and it automatically opened, and a knife with blood on it automatically came while flying to her hands.
Brother, this man killed me. He killed your sister due to greed.
I got shocked after listening to this. Neha told me that he knew that I have named every asset of mine to Neha. In the greed to get those things, Ravi acted as if he loved her and married her. Few days ago, he forged her documents and named everything in his name. On listening to Neha, my anger erupted like a volcano, and I said to Ravi after hitting him, I have not seen a cheap person like you in my life, who killed Neha just for his greed. Just then Neha told me that she could also have given apt punishment to Ravi, but she wanted that Ravi should get punishment for his crime in accordance with the law. I listened to Neha and left Ravi and immediately called police and asked them to arrest him. This was her maturity that she let him go. If I would have been in her place, then I would have immediately given him punishment according to my way. As soon as Ravi went, Neha took her real form and said to me,
Thank you so much, brother. You have again fulfilled my wish.
Saying this, she moved her hands toward me and a Rakhi appeared in her hand. She tied Rakhi on my hands, but I was continuously weeping. Neha, please forgive me. I couldn't be a good brother. Neha asked me not to cry, and she even took a promise from me that I will never cry while missing her. After which, she slowly disappeared, and while carrying her Rakhi as her memory, I returned back. We tend to see a lot of good and bad incidents in our life, but some incidents are hard to categorize in any of these types because it contains the attributes of both the types, the good and the bad. And it is not necessary that these incidents will only take place with it can happen to anybody. I also once encountered such an incident which proved to be very bad for me, but in the end, it was good for someone else. I still remember that it was our first anniversary. I was about to go to a hill station with my wife Sarika. I was not able to give a lot of time to Sarika due to being busy with work. That is why I made a plan with her to go on a vacation. But I was unaware of the fact that this beautiful day was about to turn into an inauspicious day for me. We reached the hotel and checked in and moved towards our room. Sarika loved that place. The reason I'm saying this is because she was very excited while looking out of the window. I was taking out my clothes from my bag. Just then, I received a phone call. I was stunned to see the number on the phone because that number was from the landline of my home. There was nobody living in our home except us. Then who was calling me from that number? Thinking all this, I received the call, but I didn't hear any voice. After some time, I disconnected the phone. Just then, Sarika called me from behind.
Whose phone was that, Anand?
Actually, it was a wrong number. I didn't think it right to tell Sarika about the incident. Otherwise, she would have been unnecessarily worried about it. But I was very worried about who was there at our home. I called Suman. Suman was our neighbor. I asked her to check once whether we had left our gate open. She called me after some time and said,
Anand, your door is locked.
I got even more worried after listening to this. Then who the hell has called me from my landline to my mobile phone? Sarika saw my face and she ascertained that I am a little worried. She even asked me about this, but I gave her an excuse and ignored the matter. The same night, while lying down on my bed, I checked call history on my phone because I thought I must have a confusion regarding the number. But that was the exactly same number. Just then, I again received a call from the same number. Sarika woke up and she said to me while sleeping,
Anand, who is this? Who is calling you so late at night?
I didn't reply to her and got up from the bed and received the call while fearing. I didn't hear any voice. I repeatedly said hello many times. I was about to disconnect the call. Just then, I heard long breaths from the other side. I asked repeatedly about the call, but no one replied to me from the other side. And this time, the phone disconnected on its own. I got very scared and switched off the phone and lied down again on the bed. I couldn't sleep the whole night, and then I switched on the phone. And I received the phone call after some time. And this time, I heard someone else's voice.
Salvation. I want salvation.
Just then I felt as if someone has kept his hand on my shoulder. I got so scared. I turned back and saw that the hand was of Sarika. She took the phone from my hand and started listening to it. But the phone was disconnected. That's why she didn't hear any voice from it. She said while returning the phone to me.
With whom you were talking?
I told her that it was my friend's phone. I didn't like telling lies to her. But now I have decided that I will reach home and will ascertain about the whole matter. I told Sarika that due to some urgent work, we needed to go back home again. I guess Sarika was aware that I am going home for another reason. But she got ready to come back with me without asking me for any reason. After reaching there, I hurriedly inserted keys in the lock and opened the door. The house was exactly the same as we had left while leaving home. Everything was in its place, except one thing. We saw that it was written on the wall of our house, "I need salvation." Why did this happen? When you want everything to be normal, but you find everything haywire. Trust me, even though I don't have any idea, Sarika was so afraid. But somehow I tried to calm her down. I wish there was someone who could take care of me as well. I somehow cleaned the letters written on the wall, but those words were printed in my head like a photo. The same night, I was lying down on the bed and thinking what would be the meaning of all this. Just then, I heard some voice from the almirah kept in my room.
I want salvation. I want salvation.
I hurriedly got up from the bed. Sarika was in a deep sleep, that is why she didn't respond. Fearingly, I started walking towards the almirah. I saw that the door of the almirah automatically opened. I was not able to understand what exactly was happening there. I stood in front of the almirah, took the name of my God, and opened the door. I saw that the almirah was totally empty. I have purchased that almirah from a museum. I liked that almirah in the museum because I am so fond of old things. But I was unaware that some mysterious thing will also emerge in front of me with the almirah. In some time, that almirah started shaking, and a very heavy wind started blowing from it, due to which me and Sarika fell away. We both were unable to understand what exactly was happening with us, but we are about to get answers to our every question. We saw that a witch came out from the almirah. We both got stunned seeing her. The witch pulled Sarika towards her and said,
It's your turn first.
In no time, the witch pierced her teeth in Sarika's neck and started sucking her blood. I ran to save Sarika, but the witch pushed me in the air and threw me towards the wall with the help of her magical powers, due to which I got hurt. I requested the witch to leave her, but she didn't listen to me. When I asked what she wanted from us, then she replied,
This almirah that you have is not an ordinary almirah, but it's a magical almirah, which my ancestor gave me to take care of. You can get anything from almirah, but one exorcist saw me almirah. He tried a lot to take it from me, but when he repeatedly failed, then he trapped me in this almirah by making me a witch. And from that day, whosoever bring this almirah their home becomes my prey.
Once the witch finished talking, she again started sucking Sarika's blood. I had very little time left, but I was shocked after listening to the witch. But now I understood that the root cause of all the problem is the almirah only. I immediately ran towards the storeroom and got kerosene oil from there and poured it on the almirah and lit it. As soon as the almirah started burning, the witch left Sarika and started screaming in pain. In some time, the almirah vanished after burning, and witch turned into a beautiful lady and said,
The way you have helped me was impossible for any other. Because of you, I got free. As you destroyed the almirah, I got free from the curse of that exorcist. And finally I got salvation. I would like to say thank you. Before doing any work, we always take our elders' blessings. The blessings not only make our every work auspicious, but also helps us to be safe from all the difficulties ahead. But sometimes we get into such formidable problems, due to which even our life gets in danger. Today I am going to narrate to you a story in which we were safe from dying due to the blessings of our elders and gods. Me and Aditya used to know each other from college days. We have no idea when we fell in love and got married. Everything was going like a fairy tale. I don't know what happened, due to which our peaceful married life got into big problem. Some days after the marriage, Aditya's parents told me that they have a rituals given by their ancestors, that after 1 week of marriage, they have to visit the temple of their clan deity. It has been 1 week since we got married. I talked to Aditya about this, but he refused to go there with me. He didn't believe in all this, but I somehow convinced him to go there with me. We told Aditya's mom and dad about this, packed our luggage and went towards our clan deity. But I don't know, in the back of my mind, I didn't have a good feeling about all this. We left for the temple in the morning only, because the village was very far, and we reached there by midnight.
Where are they going at this time?
Even I don't have any answer to this question. We were unable to find the GPS location of the temple in our phones. That is why we thought of asking from the locals nearby. Where are you all going so hurriedly? We are leaving this place because he is about to come. Saying this, they left from there. I tried to stop them, but they didn't listen to me. I again tried to ask about it from some people, and they told me a black demon is back in the village, and he used to hunt people after every 50 years. And today, the 50th year is completed, due to which everybody is leaving this place. I thought when superstition crosses its limit, then such things happen. I tried to explain this to them, but they didn't listen to me. I told Aditya about the whole matter, and he gave me the same reply which I was expecting. He said,
I don't understand in which world these villagers live. Anyway, we have got the way to temple, so let's go and return from there as soon as possible.
Saying this, he started the car, and we left for the temple through the jungle. After driving for a long time, I felt hot air from behind me. I checked the AC of the car, but it was cooling. Just then, I saw the mirror of the car. I saw that a woman was sitting on the back seat of the car, wearing a white sari. I screamed loudly, and Aditya stopped the car. I told him everything. Just then, he turned back and found no one sitting there.
Rukmani, look, no one is sitting at the back.
For a moment I also thought that it is nothing like that. But it was a signal of upcoming problems, which I failed to recognize. After going ahead for a long time, our car suddenly stopped with a jerk. Aditya checked the car, but he was unable to understand the reason behind it. I tried to ask for help, but there was no one around. And we started walking for the temple through the jungle. But still I was thinking about the same woman which I saw in the car. I was thinking about it. Just then I heard a woman crying. I looked here and there, but I didn't find anyone there. When I told Aditya about this, he scolded me and said,
Now you are really irritating me. First that woman and now this. Look, I am already very worried for our car. Now please come with me quietly.
From the very beginning, Aditya was like this only. He was very short-tempered. So without saying anything, I started going with him. I thought that I was under too much stress. But was it all real? I don't know. But the piercing silence and darkness of the jungle was making me more nervous about something wrong. While walking, something fell on my hand like water. But it was very cold. And when I saw it, I was shocked. There was blood on my hand. And when I saw a wall, I saw the same woman was sitting on the tree, wearing white clothes. I holded Aditya's hand while screaming. I showed him the blood marks on my hand, but when he looked upwards, he didn't find that woman. He again shouted at me and said, I must have gotten hurt with the bushes. After saying this, he started moving forward. I got very hurt knowing that we are going to take blessings from the God for a happy marriage, and my husband don't even trust me anymore. While getting emotional, I started following Aditya in the jungle. After walking for a long time, we reached outside the jungle and we saw the temple of our clan deity. As soon as we reached the temple, we saw the woman sitting outside there. Aditya, she is the same woman of which I was talking about. Aditya could say anything. That woman started chanting some mantras while sitting at her place. Seeing that, I got very scared. I holded Aditya's hand strongly and we started going towards the temple. But just then, that woman stood up and in no time, we both fell on the ground. Before we could understand anything, that woman turned into a witch. Seeing this, we both skipped our heartbeats. She came towards us while flying and said,
This time my prey has walked itself towards me. And now, with the help of this girl, I will again revive my life for more 50 years.
By saying this, she took me to a tree while floating in the air and tied me with the ropes. Aditya started running in order to save me, but someone threw him away and he fell on the ground. I felt as if I was trapped in a nutshell. The witch suddenly came towards me and started chanting some mantras. With her every mantra, I felt a current flowing in my body. I thought that my life is about to end now, but my destiny has planned something else for me. Nobody can harm you when you are near the divine temple of God. Aditya tried a lot to free me from that trap of the witch, but it didn't help. The witch told me that she sacrificed a human body after every 50 years so that she can live for further 50 years. I understood that it is the same black demon of which all the villagers were talking about. I asked Aditya to run away from there, but he didn't listen to me. I don't know what he thought, but he suddenly went inside the temple. I thought it's good that Aditya went away Now he don't have to see my painful death. But I was wrong. That Aditya came from inside the temple crying a trident. He came running towards the witch and pierced the trident in her body. The witch screamed loudly and vanished from there with a bright light. As soon as she left, I became free. Aditya told me that the witch has stopped us from entering the temple. That is why he thought that there must be some way out to kill the witch in the temple only, due to which he thought of bringing a trident from the temple. I got emotional after seeing so much love for me by Aditya. We together got into the temple and took the blessings from our clan deity. I thanked God for giving me such a loving husband.
A need compels a person to cross every limit, whether it is right or wrong. It doesn't matter which way you choose, because your only agenda is to complete your needs. If the way you have chosen proves right, then everything is okay. But if wrong, then you might get into a big problem. I also have chosen the wrong way, due to which coming back from it was so difficult that I was almost dead. A few years ago, I have came to the city from the village in search of work. But due to less education, I was facing a hard time to find a job. And whatever job I got was with such a low salary that even my survival was difficult with it. Due to which, I was unable to send money at home. Like this, a few months passed. And I was so humiliated that I decided to suicide. And one night, I stood at the highway so that any vehicle could come and take away all my problems. I saw a car coming towards me. I closed my eyes, prayed to God, and thought that my story is at the end. But it is not necessary that whatever you plan gets executed. When I was about to lose my life, then someone else got a hold of it and supported me. I heard the voice of loud praise, and then a beautiful girl came out of the car, whose age was almost 25 years, and she was carrying a locket on her neck, and hurriedly came towards me and said while shouting,
Have you got only my car to suicide?
She started yelling at me, but I had no answers. I had nothing to say. I was just crying while standing there, and when she asked about the reason, I told her everything, and after hearing it, she said something. And on listening to it, I became so happy. She said,
Okay then, I will give you a job. Will you be comfortable working as a watchman?
She told me that she has a very big mansion, but for her safety, she didn't have a watchman. She said that she will give me a higher salary. At first, I doubted her, but in order to meet my needs, I said yes to her. I thought that God had accepted my prayers, and now all my problems will end. But my destiny had planned something else for me. Kusum told me that she is going to her mansion, so she will take me with her. I agreed with her and sat in the car. And while traveling, we both started talking.
Do you know that my mansion is very old? I guess nearly 100 years old.
I felt a little weird after listening to it, because she said that she don't have a watchman with her. So who was taking care of the mansion in those years? When I asked her about this, she said to me while getting nervous,
Actually, the mansion is very far from the city, which is why no one comes there to work.
I again doubted on what she was saying, but the way she helped me in my hard time, so I totally ignored all my doubts on her. After traveling for some time, I smelled something weird. I looked here and there in the car and found everything was okay. But I saw that there was blood on Kusum's locket. I got scared and immediately told Kusum about this.
Blood on my locket? Are you mad?
She placed a hand on her locket, and as soon as she took away her hand, there were no marks of blood on the locket. It was a kind of warning for me. I wish I could have understood it. After a few hours, we reached the mansion. She asked me to take out a briefcase from the car. I took out the briefcase and followed her inside the mansion. After walking for some distance, we stood out of the room. As soon as Kusum opened that room, a bright light came out of it. I was stunned to see that the room was filled with a lot of gold jewelry and gold coins. Kusum took the briefcase from my hands and opened it. And she took out gold coins from that briefcase and put it there in the room. She turned to me and said,
We have a jewelry business and mostly we keep all our stocks here only. Your work is to give safety to all these things.
She asked me to stand outside and guard that place. I was standing outside the mansion and was thinking about the jewelry. I got greedy. I thought once Kusum will sleep, I will steal some gold coins and keep them with me. After some time, I saw that Kusum switched off her room lights. I thought that it was a good chance, and I went into the mansion and started moving towards the same room. While walking, I heard a woman's crying voice. I turned and saw, but there was nobody. I thought, what if Kusum is following me? I called her. Kusum? Kusum? Are you there? I started following the crying voice. After some time, that voice stopped, and I saw that someone was running from there. Due to darkness, I couldn't see him properly. So that is why I didn't know who was there. I thought all this was just my imagination. Because if it was Kusum, then she must have replied when I called her. Anyway, I started moving towards the room again. As soon as I reached that room and opened the door, I got an electric shock, due to which I lost my balance and fell down. I had no idea what exactly was happening with me. After opening the door, I entered the room. After seeing so much jewelry, I couldn't decide which one to pick first. Then I moved my hand towards the gold necklace. After which, whatever happened shook me from inside. As soon as I touched the jewelry, it turned into a black color. And not only this, every jewelry kept in the room turned into black color. I heard someone walking behind me. I turned back and saw that there was Kusum. Kusum? I had no idea what exactly happened here. Kusum was not answering me. I was going towards her. Suddenly my hands and legs got tied with a rope. I was trying hard to get out of it, but I couldn't. Just then, I asked for help from Kusum, but she was standing there like a statue. My problems didn't end here. I looked carefully and found that she was not Kusum, but a witch. Just then, I saw a locket on her neck. Then I understood the whole matter, that Kusum is a witch.
What do you think? That you will become rich after stealing this jewelry, huh? Stupid boy! It was all my plan. And I have already trapped so many people in such types of plans. Now it's your turn.
She was slowly coming towards me, and I thought that my life is now over. But it was not like that. I didn't give up, and I continuously tried to loose my hands from the rope. And finally, I freed my hands from that rope. But I didn't let that witch know about this.
No one could save from me ever. So there is no way you could get away from my trap.
I was still looking at the locket in her neck, which was shining continuously. I still remember that incident, how Kusum stopped the blood flowing from the locket with her hands. I understood that there is definitely something special in this locket of witch. That is why I remained standing there in front of her and let her come towards me. And as soon as that witch came close to me, I pulled her locket and broke it. After breaking the locket, the witch started screaming in pain and vanished from the room. I immediately ran from there, and while running, I was thinking about how my basic needs turned into greed, and due to which I was about to lose my life.